Hi, I'm Jeff. This is Tropical Plants at 53 degrees north. So this is going to be about growing Tolumnia orchids. Now, over the past few years, like many of you orchid fans out there, you'll have seen Roger's Tolumnia collection. Gorgeous, gorgeous orchids. Really unusual for me anyway, certainly unusual in the UK. And I thought to myself, I would like to get into those. We're getting into dendrobiums as well at the moment, so I'm looking to expand that collection. But definitely looking to expand my Tolumnia, in fact, to even start my Tolumnia collection. And I've looked at the usual sellers that I go to over the past probably 3 years now. I've been looking and I've never managed to get hold of them until quite recently, and my usual seller that I get from eBay just happens to have at the moment several varieties of Tolumnia in at the moment. So I bought 3 and I spent a whopping £52 on these 3 Tolumnias, and I have to say they are rather small. However, they will grow and I'm very pleased with them. So I'll show you my Tolumnia collection as of October 2020. Here we go. I've got everything out here because I'm going to mount them. I have looked up the conditions. Now obviously I've been watching Rogers for a few years, and you would expect that I'd remember everything, but of course, me being me, I don't. So what I've done here is I have had a quick look to see the kind of conditions that they're growing in the wild, and apparently they grow in cloud forests, on twigs, on branches, and they get like several times a day they will get like a mist rolling over them, but they have quite a stiff breeze as well. So the roots, I am told, and I got this is the source of this, is the American Orchid Society. The stiff breeze that blows tends to dry off those roots. So I'm thinking, okay, over here in the UK it's pretty humid most of the time. I've got a fogger as well, which keeps it to well, I've got it set at 70% at the moment, and hopefully that should do the job of keeping the humidity reasonable enough so that they can dry, but they don't dry too much. And of course I think I might put a little bit of moss on there too, not so much. So here we go. We have here, and I have no idea what they're called without looking them up. So this one is Tolumnia Gyrac or Jrac Rainbow, and this is the only one that's come with a bloom on it, and it was in one of these tiny little pots, and I did initially think I was going to leave them in that, but I tried attaching like a hook and it just didn't work. It was just I had a look down at my collection of pieces of wood, and as it turned out I had 3 just about the perfect size. So I'm going to mount them on those pieces of wood. I'm not going to film that, I'm just going to do it and then I'll show you the finished version at the end. So that's Jrac Rainbow. So that one does have a little bloom on it. I'll see if I can keep still while I film that. It looks to me like it's been in bloom for a while. It's going to go over. Now I understand with these particular orchids, if you cut the spike off, what you do is you lose the successional blooming that Tolumnias are known for. So what you can do is just wait for those blooms to drop off and leave it, because very often the bloom spike branches. Now whether it will do that on this tiny little thing, I don't know. So that's Jrac Rainbow, and that one is going to go onto that piece of wood there. I better not lose these labels because I won't know which is which. So this one is Tolumnia Mocha Dot. That's the biggest one that I've got. Other bits of information that I found were that they are also known as Equitant Oncidiums. Now Equitant is Latin and it means riding a horse, and apparently that's to do with the arrangement of the leaves. So the leaves are in pairs, but they're kind of not branching, they're kind of overlapping each other. I guess that's where the riding on a horse, Equitant, comes from. So that's the other one that I've got, which I said was Mocha Dot, and the last one is Flyer Red Mask. So that's that little thing there, Flyer Red Mask. So I hope I'm not going to destroy too many of the roots in taking them out of there. I might have to cut it actually just to save what I've got, and I'm going to mount them over on those pieces of wood, and then I'll show you at the end. So apparently they are also susceptible to a couple of pests. We have scale and mealybug are a couple of those. They're like bright light, not direct sunlight. Temperatures are about 15 to 26. Now I've been trying to keep my temperatures over here at about 18. So I really want more things over in this warm side because I don't have that many things in bloom at the moment anyway. Most of the things that I've got are over in the cool side. So they will go really nice somewhere over there on that side of that gable end of the greenhouse, I think. Probably in that little section there. Good air movement. Well, I do have a fan in here. It's not particularly good at the moment. It could probably do the replacing, but I think I have what's needed. So let's see what happens with them, and if I find that they do really well over here, then I will get a few more. And just while I'm on, there's a couple of more blooms to show you while I'm on. So we've got my Brassica Orange Delight, which has come back this year, looking really nice. This big long name one here is Epicattleya Janet Sparkle crossed with Leliocattleya Volcano Trick, because it really does erupt like a volcano, as somebody pointed out. The Zygopetalum is very close to blooming now. Just save those buds there from being squished. That should be great when that comes. Laelia Ramsteps is just going longer and longer. This one's hanging on in, this Bilara Purple Princess. That's looking really nice. I've had to bring the Adenium obesum over. You can see what was happening. Can you see this on the leaves? That is because those edges of the leaves were touching the bubble wrap, and of course it gets very, very damp, the bubble wrap, when the water condenses on it, and it's completely ruined those leaves. So whether just that in itself is going to completely blast these buds and ruin this plant, I don't know. So it's come over here into the warmer side. It's a little bit more humid, however at least the bubble wrap's dry. Quite a warm day today actually. Right in the corner there behind the Zebrina Red Jewel, you can see the Mandevilla, the new one, the hint of pink, is really going well. We've seen this a few times. The Cymbidium is doing really nice now. They're all opening. That is way better than it was last year, so I'm quite happy to keep that one. At first I was a little disappointed in it, certainly last year. It's one of those that you've got to really be up close to it to kind of appreciate it. I think if you're looking at it from a great height as you're walking past and it's on the floor like I had it last year, then not so good. And of course the wind and the rain played their part as well. So all I'll do, I shall mount this now and then I'll tag it onto the video for you to have a look at. Okay, so there we have it, a trio of Tolumnias, and you can just see the tiny little bloom there. I'm hoping to get much more of a display than that over the coming 12 months. Maybe it'll be a bit longer, as it usually is with orchids. I'm quite happy with those. They were £15 each, $14.99 each. I don't think I've done too badly there. The other Kerneed that I picked up on was that they're very easily overwatered. I know my track record with overwatering, this is why I've put just like quite a light bed of moss underneath. I've not put anything on top of the roots, just so that they will dry out, and that will hopefully guard against my tendency to kill them with care, as it were. So yeah, that wall over there actually looking quite nice now. We've got quite a little bit of colour on it and some interest, and once the Mandevilla in the corner, you can see it's twining there, once that starts to go across as well, which I guess it will do more so towards like springtime really next year. I don't really think it's going to put a great deal on, especially seeing as I chopped the growing point, the growing tip off there in twining it. They're very easy to snap off when you're twining it, because they tend to twine where you don't want them to twine. It tends to want to twine upwards and I want it to go across. But yeah, that's Tolumnias. So hopefully as time goes on I shall be able to show you the progression in my Tolumnia collection. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I will, as usual, very much like to read your comments on Tolumnias, and maybe you can tell me of a source where I can get them from. I have now two sources, because I have a source of plants in Germany which seem to have some really nice plants, and I bought my recent dendrobiums from there, so I'll be getting some more from there. But if you know any in the UK, that would be absolutely spectacular, because obviously the shorter the distance that they need to travel, then the better condition they are when they get here. So yeah, that's it for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.